Well, hello, man cavers. The votes have been counted and verified. So we're going to find out which of these you're going to see in tonight's video. This generator, this little inverter thing, the mystery, or the bell. Well, here we go. Scores are... Right, the mystery engine has got 25 votes. The generator, 17 votes. The bell, 7. And the little rotary inverter, 11. So, with an outstanding win is this little thing. So, let me get you set up. Move this. And we'll unveil it. Welcome to the man cave. Let the games begin. So here we are, man cavers. The one you've been waiting for. What is this little thing? Da, 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 da. It is a little tiny hit and miss engine. Petroleum. Not a flame licker, I don't think. Now, this is scratch built. There is nothing factory about this whatsoever. Nothing was bought factory. Everything was hand built. I picked this up from a Hadnam rally this year. There was a little tent there, had some little model steam engines. This sat on the shelf. I got talking to the bloke, and he told me that his grandfather, who sadly died, I think it was 16 years ago, he built this, and he didn't quite get it finished. He got this far before he sadly got too ill to finish it, and then finally passed away. So I said I would love that for my YouTube channel. So here we are. We have ended up with it. Say, totally scratch built, all made out of steel, and it weighs a ton. It is heavy. This is how big it is compared to my hand. Right, what is with this little engine? Well, I think, let me get you in closer. I think we need to do a good clean up on it first and disassemble it, because it's been sat in a shed for a long time. And it's basically got itself all dirty and cruddy. But none of this is aluminium either. It is all steel. As you can see, it's very heavy steel. I think this is the only aluminium part. Even this, the little valve block with little valves. Little push rod, work a little valve. If you can see that. This will be our fuel inlet, I assume. We put a fuel pipe on here. This will be your little needle for your carb. And that would be your exhaust. Yeah, he hasn't even put a hole in for a spark plug. There's a pilot hole in there. So we will have to drill that out at some point and put a tiny little spark plug in there. Because I would really like to see this thing running. But it is tight. Here to here, it's nice and loose. You come round here, it's starting to get tight, and it's in a notch there. It's very notchy. So, yeah, there's a big notch. So whether we've got to do a little bit of machining on this big end, is it because it looks like it's catching on that conrod there where it comes round. So whether we've got to do a little bit of filing off the conrod or off the inside of these crank journals here, I do not know. But I think the first thing to do, I think I'm going to disconnect this conrod, push the piston back up in there, and see if the crank will turn free on its own. If it does, we know we've got a problem with this conrod catching on here. It looks like it where it's catching. But we will totally strip and clean this thing. So let me hold the camera here a bit, so if I need to reference, I can see how it goes back together. This head is solid steel as well. So really, really strong. Let me show you. There's a magnetic tray. There you go, look. Everything on this is steel. There's no aluminium. Just to prove this weighs an absolute, I don't know, I haven't weighed this little thing, but I'm guessing it's best part of 3 or 4 kilos, because it is just solid steel. And everything, they tell me, was handmade. The guy made the flywheels. He basically made everything. It's a little bit rudimentary, it's a little bit crude, but I certainly wouldn't want to make it. Right, I wouldn't know how to make it, if I'm honest. So there you go. Let's get this big end out and see what we're left with. Right, guys and guidettes, my normal socket set here, my little quarter drive, smallest that goes down to, believe it or not, is, I got a 1/4 inch, and I have a 5mm. 5mm is too big, so I had to dig out this little set, which I never thought I'd use, a little cheap set, and believe it or not, it comes with a 3/16, and that's exactly what size they are. So let's, oh, hang on, there's a gap. Look what I just tweaked. Can you see in the back there, accurate? Let me have a look. See, we have a gap in that crank this side, nothing on that side. So is the cylinder a little bit off kilter? And the whole thing is like going in twisted. Do you know what I mean? Is this sitting straight, or is this sitting like that slightly? And the whole lot need to come over. I don't know. I think what we need to do is we'll get this out. I would actually like to get that piston out at the same time, because I don't know if there's rings on there. Has he gone to the trouble of actually putting piston rings in it? I don't know. So we're going to undo these. Look at that tiny little bolt. Let me get a little cap. Well, I can drop all these little bits in. Yeah. And we'll slowly get this little thing. Them tiny little bolts. We'll get this little thing disassembled. Right, they weren't even tight. Right, there's our big end off. I mean, have these been machined? And they have, look. These are proper little machined journals. Very dry, very sticky, where they've dried out over the years. Right, can we pull this? No, we'll leave that piston in. We can't spin that. That crank is a little bit tight there. So I think I can't get that piston out with that crank in. Nope, that won't pass. So I think we'll get this crank out. Looks like these 4 end caps. And that lot comes off. And then we're going to give this whole thing a bath in a tub of diesel, because it is dirty, look. So I think we need to clean all this right up. Let's look at that journal on that crank. Where that is all machined, look. That is a machined finish. The old boy knew what he was doing. Let's see if I've got a little thing to go on them. Right, I found a little Allen key in a little tiny set. So let's... Ooh, they were tightened up a little bit more. Is there nuts on the bottom of them? No, I don't think there is. I think they are screwed directly into the casing. So this is a well-engineered little thing. Whether we'll ever get it running, I don't know, because we do have to figure out some source of ignition as well. Because you can't exactly put a lawnmower spark plug in there and a proper magneto, because that would look stupid. But I think these little Chinese model engines have a little electronic CDI unit. Alright, let's see if we can get these bearing caps off. Or is this crank? No, that crank just lift out, look. There we go. How does that come off? That bearing cap is all in one piece, look. But that's free spinning on there and on there. So I reckon this crank must somehow split. There's our little weights for our flywheel governor. Look, we have a little slip ring here, comes in and out. There we go. Anyhow, we'll clean all that up. But now we're going to pull this piston. Oh, let's have a look at this crank gear, which is brass. So yeah, that works. The cam. There we go. You can see that pushing the valve. Look up that end. There you go. Opens the valve. Open, close. Open, close. This is a little bit, wouldn't say stiff, but it's very grindy on there. Anyhow, let's get this piston out, because I would really love to give this whole thing a little bath in some diesel. You know, then we can see what's going on. Has he put rings on this piston? He has, look. Well, it's been lubricated, look. He has put rings on there. Let me get my cleanest dirty rag, perfect for engine building. Look at that. He's even put little piston rings on this piston. Look at that. Would you believe it? Are them rings seized up? This top one is a little bit, this top ring is very sticky. It's only pushing in one side, look. I do not want to break these, because you're never going to get other ones. And I do not have the know-how or ability to make new piston rings like that. But this ring is very sticky. That gudgeon pin in there, the little end, it's all nice and tight in the little end. There's no ply in there. I think we need to give all this a damn good clean and see exactly what's going on. So let's get a little bath going. Shall we start? What's down there in our cylinder? Look, there you go, you're looking down the cylinder. There we are. There's even a little brass oiler here, where you undo this little screw at the top here. A few turns, and there you go. You'll let a tink, 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 little bit of oil in there. What I would like is a little tiny glass one. Do you know what I mean? A little glass oiler. Now, I think you can buy them for them model engines off eBay, but I don't know. That would be a factory bought piece. This is original, what the guy made, so maybe we can use this one. What do you guys reckon? Keep this original one or get a little Chinese one? Say, this whole thing's scratch built. That don't line up particularly well. He's put some sort of locating pin in there. I say it's a little bit rudimentary, but if we can get this little thing going, I think we'll be all right. Now, what is in there to hold that manifold on so I can get that valve block off? Oh my word, they are the tiniest Allen keys. I've ever seen. I don't know, guys, if I've actually got anything small enough to get in there. They are minute. Them little tiny Allen keys in there. Oh my word. I mean, this one's way too big. Way too big. And this is a stupid little thing. I tell you, I'm used to small stuff working on Villiers, but this is a different league. But I would like to get all this off. I'm going to have a ferret around and see if I can find anything small enough to fit in there. But at the minute, they ain't looking hopeful. Right, for the minute, we're going to blow this piece down. Just to get any crap off it. There we go. Right, that's blown that down. So I think what we're going to do, I have not got a small enough Allen key to go in there. I just don't have one. So I'm going to have to get, I think down Man Cave HQ, I have one of them sort of generic sort of Allen key and Torx head bit sets. I'm sure there's probably one small enough in there. But we'll put that to one side for the minute. We've got a nice clean bowl there. We'll shoot some diesel in there. And then we'll clean this piston up. That'll stand in there, and yes, and then we'll brush all this crank up. Excellent stuff. All right, let's get some diesel in here. There we go, some nice red diesel. Christ, we're away now. That's enough. Whoa, that's way too much. Perfect. Right, let's get ourselves a clean paintbrush. Here we are. And let's just get this all in here and clean all this up. Just give her a good cleaning up with a paintbrush and some nice fresh diesel. Getting right in that big end. Getting right in that little end. There's the big end. That's brass, look. Look at that. I can see now he's made this conrod. It's brass, look at that. Yep, that is brass. It's been painted on that ends though, where it bolts together. I'm sure that shouldn't be painted like that. Right, there we go. That might have well freed that other ring up. And it hasn't. That ring is still quite sticky in there. So this one's free and spinning, look. This one just isn't. I do not want to risk breaking that little ring there. If I break it, we're buggered. Come on, come out. There you go, we've got that ring off. So let's clean up in all... there's some crud and shite in there, look. There we go. That's gummed up. That was all gummed up. Just cleaning that ring. Mrs. Mankay's going to love me when I go in there stinking of diesel, isn't she? Right. Let's give everything a little dry off. Yeah, that's clearing that gap now. So let's try and get this little ring back on, hopefully, without breaking it. You know, I love these rubber gloves, but they're awkward damn things. There you go. There you go, that ring is free now, look. See that? Spinning and free both sides. So let's stagger these gaps. There we are. So that's our little piston done. Now, half the reason I'm using diesel for this and not brake cleaner is because diesel is a good lubricant. Brake cleaner would literally strip every bit of lubricant out of this. So let's now come in this end and let's just clean all this crank up. Because I say, if that was all gummy, everything else is going to be gummy, isn't it? And I want to have a good investigation to see where that conrod is catching. So this is just giving everything a nice lubricant up. I can see paint on that inside edge. So this end looks all free spinning. Yeah, everything's free spinning on here. Alright, we just want to give all this a clean. Sorry you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just doing this governor control. There we go, look at that. So what do you guys think of this little engine? Do you think she's a nice little beast? And do you think Man Cave has got the knowledge and know-how to ever get this thing to run? Now, a buddy of mine, Rusty Relics, check out his website. He's good on his engines. You know, sells a few pieces, does spare parts, so check out Rusty Relics. Rusty Relics online, or he has an eBay shop as well. Very knowledgeable man. Well, he's into these little ones. So if I get in contact with him, he can probably advise me on how to get ignition working on this thing. Well, look how easy that spin look. Look at that. Look at that. That is spinning so freely. Same with this one, look. There's a little key. He's put a cam on there. That ain't plying there. He's actually put a little cam on that. Look, see that? That little bit of movement. If I hold my socket there. Little bit of movement. So there is a proper little cam on there, which he was obviously going to have to open and close a set of points, I'm guessing. What is this on there? There's like a weld splat on there. I don't know. So we've got all, yeah, this is where he was going to put his points, obviously. Oh, of course it is. That's the camshaft, isn't it? Of course it is. No, there's a camshaft on there. Oh, this will be a camshaft for the hit and miss mechanism, won't it? Of course it will. Right, I think everything now is spotlessly clean. I might do what I said I weren't going to do. Number one, it's going to remove all that stinky, horrible diesel. So, of course, if not, I'm going to absolutely stink. So we're brake cleaning this off. We'll have to re-lubricate all this. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. It's got everything spotless. We'll have to just re-lubricate everything with some light oil on reassembly. There we go. There we are. Right, let's give that a blow off now. There you go. That'll get all that horrible diesel smell out. Because it absolutely stinks of diesel. Yeah, I know that diesel's washed off, look. You can hear it. Look at that. Now there's no lubrication in there. That's how good a lubricating property diesel is. Oh, compressor's on. Let me jump. I'll come back when that's gone off. Right, there we go. Compressor's done. There are our rings. That gudgeon pin in there is loose, look. Just pulls out. Will that gudgeon pin come right out? That's going to wear into the cylinder, isn't it? There's our little end. There's our total brass conrod, look. And there is the piston. Ah! There's a little tiny Allen, sorry, you can't see, there's a little tiny Allen key in there. I wonder if that goes through to tighten up that gudgeon pin. No, you wouldn't get to it with the... No, you wouldn't get... You might get in there with an Allen key. I don't know. Let's see if we can get her back together. Let's put a little bit of lubricating oil on here. In the name of 3-in-1. I know, I'm going to get slated. You aren't using the right oil. It's 3-in-1 oil. It's fine. There we go. Oh, I think that'll be alright. Right, let's lubricate these. Put a bit of lubrication around them rings. And do the whole piston. And there we are. That'll do nicely. We'll set him to one side for a minute. We will lubricate all of this. All this stuff here, we're now going to re-lubricate. I'm using this and not motor oil because this is thinner. There you go, they've all quietened down again now, so the oil is... Oh yeah, look how smooth that is. There you go. We can always put a few drops of motor oil in once that's done. So we'll move this to one side. We'll get our tub back. And we'll do this engine block. I would love to get that valve... Oh, it's heavy, this bit. I would love to get that valve block out there today, but I don't think I'm going to because I don't have any Allen keys small enough to do it. So we're just going to come all around here and clean up this entire block. There we go. Let me just come around this side. Get all this cleaned out. Get these little journals. There's a little oil journal there, look. On this side, in the middle, there's a little tiny journal which look like oil drips down to lubricate this. Because these two are your bolt holes. This one, I'm assuming, is an oil hole. Right, let's turn it round. Heavy little sod this is. That valve block is submerged now, which is good. I submerged that valve block. which means we can get some lubrication around all of them. Oh, this is most excellent. I do want that valve block off though, because I want to strip that and see what them valves are. See how well made this little thing is. But if the guy's gone to the trouble of installing piston rings, I think that's going to be alright. Now I need to find a brush where I can get in there and clean that cylinder, don't I? I have a bottle brush here, nylon one. Look at that. Look at that. That little nylon brush fits in there a treat, look. Look at that. Made for the job. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. There we are. Hopper's full. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to leave my cleanest dirty rag and actually get a clean rag. There we are. I think we need to just blitz this off with some brake cleaner again, because it stinks to high heaven being diesel. But I do like diesel as an engine degreaser, I really do. I don't know, something about it, it just seems to work impeccably as a degreaser. What's this in here? There's like this. Well, that camera's moving a lot freer now. That is indeed, that's moving a lot freer. Still working that little valve. And if you're wondering, our valve adjustment is, if we zoom right in, without getting the, if we zoom right in here, the valve adjustment, let me squirt. Now that's just brake clean. Let's give that a little bit of air to dry it off, so the shine's not on it. You'll actually see there's a little tiny nut. There's a little tiny, if I move that down, there's a little tiny nut which unscrews in there, look. There you go. That's what does your valve adjustment. So you can adjust your valve clearance. That's now touching. We want to back it off a little. We have a tiny little bit of play there. There you go, that's opening that valve. There you go. Open, closed. Perfect. Alright, let me spray the rest of this thing off. That's coming out of that plug hole at the front. So hopefully now we've washed all this diesel out of there. Let's get some more air on him to blow him off. Oh, damn! That'll shoot a guy straight in the eyeball. Let's see if that valve open. If we get the valve open, is that going to blow that out the bottom there? Yeah, it's blowing it through the cylinder, look. Closed, nothing. Open, yeah. So that valve is all connected. That does all seem to be working. Let's try that with the inlet valve. Let's unscrew our needle out of here, because he's actually made even a little needle, look. That nut is actually fixed. There you go, he's even made a little tiny needle up. Look at that. He even put a little point on it. Let's see. Pressure. Oh, yeah, that's coming out of the cylinder. I can hear it. Yeah. There you go. That is coming out the cylinder. So both them valves are working. I'd still like to have them off to see what's in there though. But patience. I'm not going to try and force something in there to get to them. If I haven't got the proper tool, I'll get one. I'm not going to force something in there today just to try. Yeah, we've had a little clean up. There we are. There's our little engine block. Look at that. Now, if you guys are wondering how big this is, let me get a little tape measure. Right, here we are with a steel rule. There you go. The base plate is 8 1/4 inches, look. So 8 1/4 inches on the base plate. The engine block itself is, let me get to the front, 7 1/4 inches. Our bore is, you ain't going to measure this very accurately. It's just over an inch and a 1/16, I'm guessing. Has he gone metric with it? 27 mil. We need calipers. But I'm not too worried. I was just giving you a rough idea so you know how big this is. Across that head. Across the head, that's exactly 2 inches. So this is obviously a 2-inch block he's machined out. He's actually put a little water jacket all the way around that engine as well. So it'll actually hold water right around it. So far, I am really impressed with this gentleman's work. Really, really impressed with his work. I think that's very, very good. Right, let's drop this little lot back in. We'll just drop this little lot back in here. There we go. We're back in. There we are. Right. Let's put them big bearing cap bolts back in. Just so I remember how this thing... Ah! There's a hole in there and there for oil, look. You put your drops of oil in there to lubricate this big end. Ha ha! Right, not big end, main bearing, beg your pardon. That's what the holes are there for. They go right through so you can actually oil the main bearing. Is there a hole on the big end? There isn't in this bit. Is there a hole on the cap? No, there isn't. So I reckon that's just an oil direct onto it. Let's get these done up a little. We're doing these up gentle nip, so they go down even. But we don't want anything going down in excess. Tell you what we didn't do there, which are all shouting at me. We didn't oil them, did we? Let's pull these caps back off. I didn't index them either to see which way around they went. Oh, no, no, they don't come off like that, do they? So, no, they'll just oil through. That's why I didn't oil them. They're not two separate caps. Come on. That'll be why. We'll give that a 20th of an Ooga Dooga, a 20th of an Ooga Dooga, a 20th of an Ooga Dooga, and a 20th of an Ooga Dooga. There we go. There's a little bit of restriction there because it's now running the cam and opening and closing that valve nicely. So we know our problem. This has got to come off again to get the piston in. I realise this. But I just want to make sure that this crank does spin freely. Oh, look. Where I'm turning it, it's actually pushing oil out of there, look. Look at that, it's pushing oil out of there. So it shows that, yeah, that definitely is a lubrication hole. Yeah, pushes oil out of that. Let's put a couple of drops in this side. There we go. Ah, that's took that oil in there now, look. There we are. That's actually took that oil in. There you go. Perfect. Well, there we are, guys. That is our lovely little engine. But why? I think that crank, the wear, look at that. It's took a gouge out of there. Do you know what I think's caused that gouge? Looky, looky. In there, if I run a flat edge in there, that's snagging up. It's snagging on that pin, look. See that pin what come through there? That's not smooth. I reckon we need to take this and file that with a file to make that dead smooth. Ah, that won't even fit in there, look. It goes on there, lovely. Come round. No, it's in there now, look. Yeah. Why was that catching the first time then? Okay. Let's just try. Let's pop this out again and try and reinstall that piston and just see if the good clean has done it. I don't think it has. I think it's going to catch. I think it is going to catch. There we go. Sorry if you guys can't really see what I'm doing. But... And for those of you that didn't vote to see this little thing, do not be disheartened. We will be doing the other end, the other generator, the bell. They will all get done. Oh, I'm going to put some normal motor oil on here this time. This is the normal sort of oil I use. So we're going to try and use this as assembly lube. So we've oiled right round that piston. We'll put a bit in the bore. Go right round the bore. Oh, I can reach right down to the bottom of that, look. That feels spotlessly clean with no grit. There you go. So let's now get this piston back in. There you go. Go on. Them rings are passed. There you go. There you go. There you go. She's going in. Excellent stuff. There we go. There we are. Let's just pop this back in and see how everything's doing. Yeah. There we go. There we are. And here we are. So we haven't oiled up the little flyweights yet, and we haven't worked out to see if they actually catch on the hit and miss mechanism. We've got a lot to get through with this little thing. There we are. There we go. Oh, that spins lovely and free. Alright, we'll do that up half an ooga dooga. Not even a half. What did we say? 20th of an ooga dooga, didn't we? There we go. Alright. Now let's line this piston back up. Right, that piston is too far to one side, look. Maybe it's twisted. Ah, no, there it goes. Oh, that's catching. I can feel that catching already. And it's definitely not on. It's definitely not on the cylinder. It's catching on that centre pin. I can feel it. We get that back on. There you go. It's catching there. Yeah. Oh, big time. Yep. That's where it's catching. So I think we are going to have to file this out in here and get that notch out. There's a notch there, what that's catching on. Yeah, I don't think that'll push through at all. No, I don't think that pushes through there. Now, so I think we have got to file that, and then I think that'll do away with our clearance problem, what we've got. Where it isn't quite working right. God, that piston's damn tight in there. I've wedged that all the way forward, which is, yeah, it's about where that pushes it to, actually. I don't want to come out now. There we go. You can tell this engine's never been run because it's, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I reckon I'd shoved it up. I reckon there's a little bit of clearance at the front, and I'd shoved it in too far. That's going in and out of treat. But, I say, I think we need to file up this crank in there. But I think, guys, we're going to call this video here for today. And I'm going to put everything so I don't lose it. Because we'll do another video on this as soon as I can find an appropriate sized Allen key to get on this little valve block. Because I'm itching to have that off and actually see them valves. Now this valve is an atmospheric valve which will just pull open under air pressure. I think that spring on there is far too tight. I mean, I can push it easily with my finger, but I think it's too tight. I think that should have a really weak spring on there, so when it draws in induction air, it'll just pull this valve open a tiny bit. And I think that is too tight. I think we need to put a laxer spring in there, or cut a few coils off. If you did that, you've got to have a bit of a balance, because if not, on compression, it won't seal. But we'll wait till we have this to bits, and then we'll look at that closely. But there we are for now. You have seen the little mystery engine. I hope you guys like it, because I like the little thing. Absolutely love it. I just hope I can get it running at some point. But we'll see. Right, we're going to leave this video here, because it is best part of an hour long. So we'll clean there. Sorry. We will cover this little baby up. No, you want to see it again. Right. There you go. That's going to be it for this video, guys. All sorted. There is the little mystery engine. Now, thoroughly cleaned. Everywhere. I did wonder if this was alloy. That isn't. That's steel as well. Because there are signs of surface rust on there. So no, this is all steel as well. I think the only aluminium bit is this little thing on here. Ah, there's a little tiny Allen screw in there as well. Look, so we can actually take all this connecting rod off, can't we? Yeah, we can't get that valve to open because the piston's not going past the con rod. There you go, guys. Right, that is it for the video. Thank you very, very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more on this little scratch-built hit and miss. Let's just, before we go, we'll have a detailed look at the hit and miss mechanism here. Right, let me get some more light back on. Here we go. Let me get this propped up. So we've got our engine propped up. Let's zoom in. And you'll see, there you go, the little, come on camera, stay still. The little hit and miss mechanism where this little ring should go in and out and move this arm. See this arm down the bottom here? That should catch, because this arm, if I move it up this end, you can't see it. Come on, get out of the camera, Fen. There you go. There you go. Ow. Out my finger. Trust me. There you go. If I push this valve open, you'll see that rod. There you go. I'm on it now. See, that's moving the other end. Well, I think that this arm in here should go forward and catch on the top of that, holding this valve open. And then when this comes out, that goes in and hold it open. And as this pulls back in, it fires the valve. But we've got a good, look at that, there's loads of gap in there. I can't quite get a 1/4 inch drive in there, but there's a fair old gap in there. Oh, you don't get that Allen key through there. So it's either we're not getting enough movement on this little slip ring, or this needs to be adjusted. Whatever. I did think, can we pull the flywheel out a little? But the flywheel is all the way at the end. Or else I say we'll just pull the flywheel out a little, allowing that to go in. But that's not going to work. Because with our weights, that's still not. Now that little slip ring is too tight in there. Look, it's only got that much movement, which is barely enough to even move that arm. So to give that more movement, we may have to remove that flywheel and take a piece off the surface of that flywheel so it's got more give in it. See, we ain't quite got enough give. I mean, it's moving on that bottom arm, just not enough. Not enough. So I think also on the next video, we will pull this flywheel key and see if we can get that flywheel back a little bit. And see if that helps. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what we're going to do. Let's have a quick go and see if this flywheel key will come out. I don't want to gnarl it all up. Come on. I'm wondering if that will tap out. There you go, she's out, look. So the flywheel key is out. I didn't intend on doing this in this video, but we might as well now, mightn't we? Now we've come this far, will that flywheel... that flywheel will come off there, look. Oh yeah. So that flywheel, yeah, that's only now engaging. We've got to do some modification here, because that's only now engaging on that valve. It's not even trying to get on that valve yet. Yeah, I think this arm is wrong. Maybe we need to remake one somehow, so the bottom is more bent in. Yeah, I can't even get this off because the balance weights are actually holding the flywheel on. Which would mean pulling this little tiny pin out. Where is that little tiny pin? It's there, look. There's a little tiny split pin in there, which will allow that arm to come off. Can I grab that? There we go, it's pushed it out a bit from that side. There we go, it's got the little split pin out. Now, that arm should come out with the flywheel. There we go. Arm out. Flywheel off. There we go, flywheel off. And there's a bushing and our little arm. There we go. So that's got the little flywheel off. And there is that ring I was telling you about, which goes on. And the little arm is longer one side than the other. I shall have to work out which way that should go back on. There we go, that little arm goes back in there like so. But it should hit on this little pin. And it's not. If it goes in enough to hit that damn pin, that's nearly hit. No, it ain't hitting the brass gear, is it? Maybe this has got to be remade to have a bit more of a kink so it comes in a bit. Or could we heat and bend this one just a tiny bit? We'll work that out later on down the line. Because what I don't want to do is reverse some of his work only to find that it just needed a bit of finishing in the first place. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that. There we go. Right, there we go, guys. We'll leave this video here. This will just give you a rough idea of what we've got to do. Because our pin is there, and that should come in and catch and hold this valve open. See what I mean? That should hold that valve open. But we'll sort that out another time. Let's put everything back in our little pot. There's our little ring. I'll tell you, this is a well-made little engine. It really is. Let's look at the play on them gears. None look. Let me hold that end. Look how well them gears mesh. That's paint on there. That ain't muck, by the way. That's a little bit of paint, green paint. There you go. Look how them gears mesh on that cam. So, yeah. So, there is our little scratch built engine. Sorry the video's dragged on that extra 10 minutes, but I thought we'd just pull that flywheel off. That really is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, like and subscribe. There's our flywheel weights, which do appear to work on their little arms. Look. Yeah. Or do we have to take these little arms out and file a piece off the centre bore to allow this little slip ring, which we've got here, so it's got that little bit more travel, because it had it didn't have enough, and you can't exactly take the flywheel out because that'll start to walk off the crank, so it has to come that way. Oh, he's even put a keyway on that crankshaft. Look at that. I'll tell you, the work that's gone into making this little engine is unbelievable. I'm not oiling that because I don't really want oil on it. There we go. Just ready to put our keyway back in. And there's our weights. Absolutely perfect. Them weights are all loose at the minute because they aren't on the slip ring. Look, they're just poked through the back here. Oh, hang on, we got that wrong, haven't we? This little slip ring needs to go in between them, doesn't it? There you go, I had that on there wrong, guys. Yeah, that little slip ring. There we are. That is all the play that's going to get, actually. Because the little governor weights will only push and pull that so far. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. Right, that is going to be it. I keep saying that. This is like 4th time. But there you go. Right. We will see you guys next time for another video on this little totally scratch built hit and miss engine. Right, bye bye guys. Ah! There it is.